What is up, everybody? We are back for another prediction video, and this time we are predicting Crown Jewel 2024. We have seven matches this time around, which is awesome. We haven't been seeing stuff like that recently. Five has been the pretty much go-to number unless it's a big four pay-per-view or PLE. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited. We got two championship matches, three non-champion matches, and then the two crown jewel championship matches. So two current champions, like continuously throughout the year, two crown jewel champion matches, and three non-title matches. So let's go ahead and start with two of those non-title matches. So let's start with the first of our non-title matches. We've got Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. This is going to be a great match. I'm upset that they went this route with the heel turn for Kevin Owens. I get that this is to make him ruthless. He didn't have to turn on Randy. He could have just turned on Cody and he would have been justified. Him turning on Randy, I didn't want that. So now I have to choose, who do I think wins, Randy or KO? I think it has to be KO. I think that if it's not KO, the whole point of this heel turn was for naught. Also, Randy doesn't need it. He just doesn't. KO needs it more. It makes way more sense for his character. So I'm going to take Kevin Owens here. I just think he needs it more. That same conversation is going to be had for this next match, which is Seth freaking Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. I'm getting tired of the word nicknames. It's weird. The one word adjectives. It's not dirty Dominic Mysterio. Big Bronson Reed. Uh, Seth freaking Rollins. Like, come on, just let's stop. But whatever. Seth versus Bronson is going to be a fucking car wreck. It's going to be so fun. But Bronson needs it more. He just does. I think they've been leaning into this whole injury thing with Seth to give Bronson a easy win, so to speak. Just a justifiable way to have him beat Seth without Seth kind of just looking like he's losing to somebody that's never really been in the main event scene. I think this can help establish Bronson. This is his big feud. This is the big payoff to what we had a couple months ago with him hitting those tsunamis and then having just him run through the roster for the past couple months. This is the blow off to that. And I think Bronson has to win. Seth can get his win back next month at Survivor Series if we want to go that route. But for here, Bronson needs it more. It's the same thing as the Kevin Owens match. His story dictates that this needs to be a big win for him against a established main event veteran like Seth Rollins, just like Kevin Owens with Randy Orton. So let's move on. We'll talk about the first of our regular championship matches as L.A. Knight, defends the United States Championship against not only Andrade, but also Carmelo Hayes, because LA Knight decided to get involved in Game 7, or not even get involved, he was the special guest referee, but to cause Game 7 to not have a definitive winner, and Nick Aldis punishing him for that by putting him in this triple threat. Here's the thing. I'm taking LA Knight for two reasons. One, because I just don't think it's time for his title reign to end yet. He's been a really good U.S. champion for the brand, and I just think that taking it off of him right now might not be the good move. But two, I don't think that Andrade and Carmelo should have a win here over the other person in a triple threat. I think that we need to get LA out of this conversation and let them hopefully finish their feud elsewhere. Now, that being said, if they decide that this is where they just want to end the feud, then I think it would be Carmelo Hayes. I think Andrade is the least likely person to win here, as much as Andrade is talented. I think that if there's going to be a new champion here, it's going to be Carmelo. But I'm going to take LA Knight, and I think I'm going to take LA Knight. I think that maybe he might feud with Logan Paul again. I feel like Logan should show up here and attack LA. Now, maybe Logan costs LA. I will say as a caveat. But I think that Logan Paul has been a part of almost every Saudi show since he joined the company. He won the U.S. title last year in Saudi. He fought Roman in a champion versus champion match in Saudi. He's been a huge part of the Saudi shows. So I think that he's been a part of everyone since he joined the company. Yeah, he won the U.S. title last year at Crown Jewel. So he's been a part of every Crown Jewel since he joined the company, it looks like. He's been a part of the last 3 in a row. So not including him would be a little interesting, but we'll see. I'm going to take LA here, but there's a very real chance that Logan Paul shows up, costs him, Carmelo gets the win. If there's a new champion, it'll be Carmelo. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's move on. The other championship match, regular championship match we have, is a Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team Championship match with current champions Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending against one team from each brand, with Raw's representation being Io Sky and Kairi Sane of Damage Control, SmackDown's representation being Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and NXT getting some representation here with Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. So Metaphor challenging for the tag titles as well, which is awesome because we're getting some NXT representation on this show, and that's how it should be. These titles are supposed to float through the entire company. I'm going to take Bianca and Jade to retain here, just because I think that when a team beats them, it needs to be one-on-one. I say that. They need to get pinned. They need to lose the titles by getting pinned. And I also just don't think that WWE is going to go the route of having them lose the titles again in a multi-team match where they're not the people that get pinned. And when they do get pinned, it needs to be like a one-on, or I guess a 2-on-2 match where they're definitively being beaten. So I'm going to take the champs to retain here. We don't normally get new champions on Saudi shows. I feel pretty good about them retaining. Now, let's move on to our 2 Crown Jewel Championship matches. The first one, the Women's Crown Jewel Championship match, where Women's World Champion Liv Morgan will face off against Women's WWE Champion Nia Jax. I'm going to take Liv Morgan here if we get a definitive winner here between these two. I think with Raquel, Dom, all the help that could be there, Liv just is in a position where she's got all the help. And Rhea Ripley getting jumped earlier this week, and I don't know if that injury is legit or not. I've seen conflicting reports here and there on whether or not she's actually sustained damage to her orbital socket. But either way, with the injury that they're playing up or is legit, Rhea's probably not going to be involved in this. She's not going to interfere more than likely. So no one's really against Liv. The only person that's going to be for Nia is Tiffany Stratton, and I think she might cash in. I kind of hope she cashes in, and I think she should cash in during the match. If she cashes in during the match, does she just walk out with 3 championships? It'd be awesome. If she cashes in and all of a sudden she's both champions and the Crown Jewel champion, because we've seen where if you cash in during a match, it just becomes a triple threat for that title. So unless she has to name specifically which title she's going for, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how this plays out. Money in the Bank makes this a very interesting match. I'm going to take Liv if there's no cash in. If there's a cash in, Tiffany wins for sure. The men's Crown Jewel Championship is going to be contested between current World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and WWE Champion, or WWE Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. Here's the thing. I don't think that there's anybody other than Goldberg that would want to come out and cost Gunther. And I don't think there's anybody other than Kevin Owens that would want to come out and cost Cody, other than maybe The Rock, I guess. But I don't see The Rock being in Saudi, first of all. I'm going to take Cody to win because of Goldberg interference, which will set up a Gunther-Goldberg match at Survivor Series, which Gunther will win, hopefully. So I'm going to take Cody here thanks to some Goldberg interference and shenanigans. But Kevin Owens is already going to be in Saudi. Maybe he costs Cody. It's hard to say. There's a lot of interference in these things. The other thing is, because these Crown Jewel championships mean absolutely nothing, it makes it much harder to predict which champion should win. Because here's the thing, neither of these guys should be taking a loss right now. So it's just a matter of which interference storyline do they want to go with. Kevin Owens jumping Cody or Gunther getting jumped by Goldberg. So yeah. And then, okay. We have the OG bloodline in Roman Reigns and the Usos freshly reunited all together. Jay and Jimmy have reconciled, but and they're going to take on the Timu bloodline in a combination of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu. I don't know which three it'll be, but I think Sami Zayn is going to show up. The Saudi crowd loves Sami. He's super over. And I think he's going to just try and, I don't know, talk to Jay. Him and Jimmy might get into it. I don't know. This is tough because I could see it going either way because it's going to set up for Survivor Series. So do I think that Sami comes out, accidentally costs OG Bloodline? Timu Bloodline gets the win. OG Bloodline wants the rematch? Or do I think that Sami comes out... I'm going to take Timu Bloodline to win this, actually. The numbers game catches up to them, and then they get the win. Sami Zayn comes out to stop the jumping that happens at the end of this match, and then gets laid out by the Timu Bloodline as well, giving Sami Zayn a reason to reunite with the Bloodline and set up for War Games. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Timu Bloodline getting a win here, jumping Roman and the Usos, Sami coming out to save Jay, specifically Jay, and then getting rocked by the Timu Bloodline as well. That's what we're going with. I could be wrong. We'll see. But let me know what you guys have for these 7 matches. I'm super excited for Crown Jewel. I'm not going to be able to watch it live, but I'm going to watch it later that night. Let me know what you guys think. And with all that being said, as always, I'm Pip. Y'all the greatest, and when in doubt, we'll see you next time. See ya!